Hi Aries, welcome to your reading. This is going to be for June 2021. It's for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. If this one doesn't resonate for you guys, check out your other placements. It is a general reading. So we're going to get into your recent past, your current energy, the possible near future, and then whatever spirit wants you to focus on. And then at the end of the main spread, we'll get into your person's energy, whoever's on your mind, and then your energy. All right, so let's get started. If you'd like a personal reading, the information is in the description box below. All right, this is for Aries. Let's see what's going on with you. So we have the Five of Swords in reverse, then the Six of Wands, Ten of Swords in reverse, which is great, the Knight of Cups in reverse, Justice in reverse, the Two of Wands, Four of Wands in reverse, the Knight of Swords in reverse, the Ace of Swords, Seven of Swords in reverse, the Fool, and then the Lovers in reverse. And then we have the Ace of Wands as your overall energy. This is amazing. So something could have shifted just recently that started you on a new path. So this could be any area of your life. Since this is for June, we're going to do whatever pops up, meaning work, love, anything. This feels like a really passionate new beginning. If it hasn't started yet, it's coming towards you in June. For sure, this is something that you're really excited about or you've been waiting on. It could be somebody that's going to finally move towards you that has something to say. Maybe they'd like a new beginning. Once we get into the cards, we'll clarify and see what's going on. We will actually clarify each of the cards as well in the deck. So, or in the spread. Sorry. So with the Five of Swords in reverse and then the Six of Wands, whatever was happening that was causing any kind of conflict in your life, it feels like you've come out of it not only victorious, but feeling really good about it. This could have been a situation where you had to work something out with a current partner. So I'm going to give you the different scenarios that I pick up on. If you're in a relationship now, this feels like having figured out what it was that needed to be worked out and feeling good about the result. If this is a job situation, it could be the same thing. Maybe you were feeling like there was a lot of competition for something that you wanted. And with the Ace of Wands, I'd say you were victorious and you got that new beginning. And now you're feeling really good about it, which, and this is in the recent past, which is stopped all that worrying and stress and things that you may have been going through even prior to the recent past, which is really great news. We'll also clarify to see what's going on with that, but it's a really great start to the reading. It feels like you're coming out of whatever energies were feeling kind of difficult in the recent past, and now you're moving forward. So we have the Knight of Cups in reverse, Justice in reverse, and then the Two of Wands. Again, if this was a relationship that you were not happy in and you've walked away, this could be why the Knight of Cups is in reverse. So maybe you decided that it was better to hold back and quit arguing or having these repetitive situations happen. It may not feel like you have justice just yet in that situation in the current moment, but in the recent past, you felt really good about where things had gone. And now it's like you're looking forward and saying, okay, where do I begin now? Again, with the Ace of Wands, this is all about a new beginning. So you're looking into the future. Maybe you had a choice to make. Knowing that you had the world in your hands, you had the opportunity to choose between situations, one of which I think was going to make you more happy than the other. It's, even though at the time it may have felt like it was a difficult decision to make, and it didn't necessarily feel like you got exactly what you wanted, I think you're happy with the result. It's like you can now sort of look into the future and say, okay, I can really move forward from this situation. Or now that we've overcome the problems, I can see us moving forward. It could be too that in that new beginning with work, that now you can see a future where maybe before you couldn't and you had a choice between two jobs. In this case, it's like, okay, the one you did end up choosing is, you feel like is the right move for you. And then what we have in the near future. So the Four of Wands in reverse. Again, this could have been a divorce. If you were moving away from a serious relationship, it could be that you're shifting and moving and maybe you're sort of in limbo in the near future. Because the Justice card is in reverse in the current energy and the Four of Wands is in the near future, this arguing, this situation that you may have had to walk away from, work or relationship, could be a little unsettling in the home environment. Things will definitely come around. Once we clarify, we'll get an idea of what the outcome is going to be for this situation. It seems as though things aren't going to be moving as quickly as expected. Right now, I feel like somebody's cut off communication. It could be you, and you've decided that you just don't want to deal with it. Now that you've gone through the discussions and you feel like you came away from it feeling pretty good, there may still be things like paperwork that needs to be signed or some kind of contract that has to be dealt with that just hasn't been dealt with yet. And then with the Ace of Swords, the near future, once all of that has settled down, this is when, again, that really amazing new beginning starts. It's like cutting out what doesn't work for you anymore. It feels like there was some instability in a work situation that wasn't making you happy, as well as a relationship that felt kind of unstable. So moving forward, this gives me the energy of finding someone new that is going to be your equal partner. I don't feel, well, the imbalance with the Justice card being in reverse could be that you just felt like for some reason there was never any balance in your relationship, and that may be what had pushed you to the point where you're, look, I don't want to argue about this anymore. I know how I feel. I'm really passionate about how I want to move forward in my life, and I'm making this choice for myself, and that's going to put you in that position where you start seeking a partner that's going to be more and equal to you. If you're in a current relationship, this is resolving those problems and starting fresh. It's like a renewed energy and knowing that you'd like to take the steps forward together. So I said this a lot about the situation with COVID. It's like it was pressuring relationships to decide whether they were going to stay together or break apart. It really did test a lot of people. And I feel like it could have put you in a position where you had to make a decision. Do I stay or do I go? Is this worth really working on? Can we become what we both want for each other in the future? Are we each other's equal partners with that crown? Are you the king and queen? Is this really going to work out, or do you need to walk away from it? And it feels like in the future, for some of you, that this is going to be the end to that relationship and moving forward to cutting off any kind of connection, any more discussions. The arguing is over and you just want your new start. With the Seven of Swords in reverse and the Fool card, to me, this is really great energy. This is getting away from situations that were either disappointing, or maybe you found something out about somebody. Maybe you were dealing with someone who was a cheater, and moving forward, you were taking that leap of faith and saying, you know, I want to get beyond this type of personality or this type of cycle that you might have been in, where those types of people showed up in your life. And now you're taking that leap saying, I know I can get away from difficult people, maybe in a work environment as well, and move forward. I don't want to feel like a fool for choosing another person in my life that may do these types of things to me, or any kind of work situation where somebody's difficult or argumentative, or anything that makes you feel unstable. It feels like you've come to a place of really understanding where your limits are. That's what it feels like. And with the Lovers in reverse, this is just saying it didn't work out and you understand the reasons why. Maybe you had a really, really tough decision to make, but it was worth it to you to take that leap of faith and move forward and move into something brand new. Because the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands is all about brand new beginnings. Okay, so let's go ahead and clarify the Five of Swords and the Six of Wands. Where was there either arguing or competitive situation that you feel victorious from? Whatever it was, it really did help you get beyond the betrayal or the constant ups and downs or losing sleep over something that was hard to deal with. We have the King of Swords in reverse, and then we have the Ten of Cups in reverse. Okay, that makes sense. And then the Ace of Wands, clarifying the Ace of Wands. Being really passionate about starting anew. really putting your energy into something that's going to feel like gives you more drive is what I keep hearing. It pushes you in that direction of feeling like there's a fiery desire. I don't know how else to put that. Like you're going to move towards those things now is what it feels like. June could be a really big month for making those kind of big decisions and putting an end to the old stuff and starting really passionately into the new. With the King of Swords in reverse, this is somebody who has a tendency to not communicate very clearly. This person doesn't really know who they are. So that could have created the problems in a relationship, and that could have been why you decided you wanted to get out of this. If it was constantly off balance with the Ten of Cups in reverse, there was not enough emotion and probably too much mental. They just said something I'm not going to say out loud, but mental effery. So if this person tended to mess with your mind, it was kind of a mental and emotional manipulation. And that's where I feel like you decided, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to fight anymore. I'm not going to fight for this anymore. The Six of Wands is wanting to get away from that and feel good about how you're going to move forward, especially with the two Aces of Wands. And then not wanting to lose sleep or be so frustrated and disappointed over what was happening. Okay, so let's get a clarifier for the Knight of Cups. Somebody's definitely holding back emotionally, and that could be where you feel like you're just not getting the justice that you wanted in the situation. It does feel like you made the decision, but maybe now in the current energy, it's kind of frustrating. Like, was it that easy for this person to just move away? With the World card in reverse and the Eight of Pentacles, and then the Nine of Swords, frustrated about, having made the decision and now dealing with maybe some of that energy, especially with Mercury retrograde. A lot of people's either childhood wounds or frustrations from past relationships are going to come up. So right now you could be feeling like you're having to replay some of your old heartaches, pains, even childhood wounds, and having to release them. That's what's going to be important to do in June, because you have so much great stuff coming towards you. Your current energy is saying you need to release that particular scenario. Whatever it is, those energies need to be worked through. That's why the World is in reverse. That new cycle is going to begin after you do that, after you work through these things that are really tough to deal with. None of us likes to go back and have to replay either childhood wounds or relationships that hurt us. But moving forward, once you heal that stuff and you work through it, you allow yourself to feel it and work through it, then you come out the other side knowing that you're open and healed from that, so you don't carry that into your next relationship and or work situation. So you're willing to put the work in order to close this cycle out, which is beautiful energy. It's also being willing to put the work into not only your work, but also your relationships, and recognizing that you've done that in the past. Maybe you need to pull back a tad and focus a little bit more on you and not put so much work into other people. But this really does feel like putting your work into your transformation and closing out this cycle. 2021 is going to be about closing out a lot of those old cycles. We still have a lot of work to do, and all of us are on different timelines. So if you're dealing with that right now and you're having a little bit of a tough time, give yourself, they're saying, forgive yourself for needing that time to retreat. If you start to pull back from people in your life, they're going to have to understand. If you're doing spiritual work, it has to be done alone. I mean, there are some times when you can have mentors or other people that help you, but a lot of times this is a very individual path. Okay, so with the Four of Wands in reverse and the Knight of Wands, a need to cut somebody off. The Five of Wands is in reverse because you don't want to argue anymore. You don't want to deal with that. So it looks like in the near future, that's how your energy is going to appear. Like I said, if you're backing away from people who create any kind of conflict in your life, that's because it's important for you to do this work and do it without the interference of others. And then we have the Chariot in reverse and the Six of Wands again. being victorious. This is coming out the other side of this probably difficult situation. If you're in your dark night of the soul, you could be feeling some really deep, dark emotions right now, and that's hard. It makes it difficult to move forward. With the Chariot being in reverse and the Five of Wands, that's just really saying, like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I'm done. I've made up my mind. I don't want to move forward either in the relationship or in this tough work situation. I need time to retreat and figure out what it is that I really want moving forward. So as far as signs are concerned, who you might be dealing with, I have a lot of water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. They also are drawing my eyes to the air energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. There's also fire here. We pretty much have everybody, but I'm going to say I also see another Gemini. So Gemini is going to be really strong. So in this case, moving forward may not feel easy right now. This is giving yourself that break that I was talking about so that you can work on these things and close out this cycle that's going to be super significant for you moving forward in order to find that balance in your life that I think you're probably looking for. The Four of Wands can also mean in reverse that there was something as far as a home is concerned that might not have moved as quickly or hasn't happened yet. You might still be looking. So if you're looking for a home right now, I'd say look through June because it's going to be later in the summer when you find the thing that you're looking for, or you could be moving later in the summer. That could be for just a few of you. All right, let's clarify the Seven of Swords and the Fool in the upright. So definitely not wanting to feel like you're repeating cycles with people who are difficult like this or have really bad histories of either cheating, lying, stealing. This is perfect. So this is where I talked about wanting Spirit to give us some advice. The Star card is in the upright. That's Aquarius energy. And then we have the Page of Pentacles and then the Two of Wands in reverse. This is really beautiful, and I'll tell you why. Because this is about seeing the future and knowing what you want. Right now, you may not see how all of this is going to turn out, but you're not meant to. We're not necessarily meant to know everything. When I do readings, I try to explain to people, Spirit will only show you or me as much as they feel you need to know. Sometimes you just have to keep going and not know the answers. And in this case, you don't. I think you're in a place where you're okay with not knowing exactly what the outcome is going to be. If you're not, this is kind of Spirit's way of pushing you, saying you're doing such a good job with the Star card. You're healing, you're changing, you're going through the processes, you're doing the work. And with the Page of Pentacles, that's starting fresh, starting new. Again, this is like a new beginning, starting over, like childlike is what it feels like. Remembering what it was like to be excited about life again. When you're a kid, you don't care about all the stresses of the world. And it's okay as an adult to take a step back and say, you know what, I just want to feel like a kid again. And we can. We don't have to be worried about what's happened in the past or what's coming in the future all the time. It's really unnecessary. And to be honest with you, if you haven't learned PMA, which is present moment awareness, that's super important on your spiritual journey, is to learn how to live in the moment. Way easier said than done. I get that. But in this case, it's looking at things from a fresh perspective. So going back to being, let's say, okay, this is a perfect example. It's like deconditioning. So once you've healed and you've gone through the things that you need to that are showing up here, this Page of Pentacles is going to have you in a place where you open your eyes and see things from a different perspective, more like what you did when you were a child, where anything is possible. You've got all the tools you need, but you can do it from a different place. In other words, a more youthful energy. So take all those lessons. It's that adults used to always say, I wish I knew what I know now then. But you would have done things differently, and you weren't meant to know it all then. But now you do, and you can still look at it from a fresh perspective. So that's really great energy. Okay, I'm going to clear the cards. So go ahead and think about whoever's on your mind, whatever person you want information on, and we will find out what their energy is. Okay, so we're going to get a different deck, and then we'll get the romance angels as well and get an outcome for you. This is for Aries person. I see the Queen of Cups, which is good, starting to open up emotionally. It could be also that you're nurturing yourself right now, which is necessary when you're going through a huge spiritual shift. Okay, so the person that you could be dealing with, a Leo, they feel like something's unfair in this situation for some reason. They do want to come forward and tell you that, I don't get this normally from the Three of Wands, but for some reason, if they had put you in a third-party situation, it's like they've made a choice and you're the one that they want to be with. They're having a difficult time mustering up the energy to come forth and say, I know I did you wrong. So this could be if you're in a relationship, or if this is somebody that maybe you want to reconnect with. In your energy, it seems like you want victory. Like you want to, okay, this is perfect. I'll stop stuttering and get to the point. King of Swords, cutting through all the BS. Both of you, it feels like, want to cut right to the chase and just have a discussion. There's no need to get overly emotional about it. I feel like both of you want to speak from a very intellectual place. From your mind, not your heart. Not that it's not important to use emotion, but in this case, it's like some clear-cut decisions need to be made, and they need to be logical, not so much about emotion. So, like I said, this person feels like there's something that went wrong. They don't have the strength to come up and say just yet, but they want to. So if they haven't come towards you yet, they want to. And they want to let you know that they're passionate about this, that they really do feel like you can move forward. They're going to leave whatever problems were in the past and say, I choose you. So if you're waiting on this person to come in, there's a very good possibility they might, because this is a June reading. I'd say it could happen in June. I also heard August. If you don't want to wait on a person, I understand. If you're inquiring about them, I'm assuming this is someone that you still genuinely care about. So for you, you're very focused on having the victories that we talked about with the Two of Wands moving forward. You too want to make a final decision about the one thing and not pay attention to any other options. It's like once you make a decision, you make a decision. And in this case, whatever decision that is going to be victorious, and you know that. It could have already happened for you. You've laid down all the burdens of this situation. So that's why you're going to come from a place of clarity with the King of Swords, and then we have the Empress. So male or female, you're standing in a position of understanding. Again, when you're going through this journey, you're coming to a place of it, you're ascending. So you're becoming somebody different. There's going to be a whole new you on the other side of this experience. And that could mean that this person doesn't fit into that, right? They may not be a part of the puzzle. If they can catch up and come with you, fantastic. But if not, I think you're very focused on moving forward into something that's going to feel right now, because you've done so much work on yourself and you've changed so much. The Empress is the all-knowing. She's very spiritual. She's comfortable in her own skin. She's beautiful. She's all of it. It's like she encompasses everything. And that's where you are. If you haven't quite gotten to the place where you feel like that, you're getting there. Okay, so let's get an outcome for this situation from the other deck, and then we'll do the Romance Angels and see. There could be a totally different message with those moving forward. So I think you're going to have a decision to make. If this person hasn't already come forward, they're coming. I think they're just a little scared to approach you because they know they did something wrong. So the outcome for you, well, it's the World card, but okay. Wow. You've got a serious decision to make. So, God, they're bringing up work again. This could be a higher up at work that you were dealing with that might have had to make a decision about something. I feel like there's a part of you that feels a little betrayed by this person. Now, this could also be your partner in a higher level relationship. Like I said in the reading, if this was a marriage, this could feel like this person constantly had power over you. Yeah, that's about all I've got with that one. So the outcome is the World card. So transforming the situation to get away from all of that betrayal. If you can't forgive, then you need to move on, because the Eight of Wands is about movement. It could be about communication, but it could also be about swift movement away from anything. This is that transformation and completing it. And I feel like this is strongly your energy. So like I said, as you complete this cycle and you put behind you any of those things, if you're still working on releasing them, it's going to happen very quickly. So you have a decision to make. They're not actually giving me cards to say this is what the outcome of the situation is. It's going to be up to you, obviously. You have a choice to make. But things are going to be moving really quickly once you make these changes and you've gone through this complete transformation. Your whole world could turn upside down. It could look completely different in the next couple of months, or at least within the next 6 months. That's how much you're transforming. It's really beautiful energy. They said give yourself a pat on the back, because whatever it is that you've been through has been pretty treacherous, and you've come out the other side. And the fact that you've survived it is a huge feat. So give yourself a pat on the back for that. Okay. So we have the romance angels, healing from family issues. That makes sense. When you start going through your spiritual journey, I talk about this in all my readings when that card comes up. You have to go back, dig those things up. I just mentioned it and now this card came out. So those things could be coming up for you to heal. Keep an open mind. Give your relationship a chance. Pay attention to the red flags. Finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So that's what I was saying. If there was something going on at work, or maybe you were shifting jobs, that could be something that was getting in the way of the relationship, or it could have just been something that caused some arguments. Healing family issues, your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. All I can say to this is amen. That's that work we always talk about that you have to do in order to move forward into a healthier relationship. And that's what your spiritual journey does. It helps you heal. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. If this is somebody that you want to remain in a relationship with, I'd say yes, take that advice. Definitely work on the relationship. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. As I said, this person that seems to be coming towards you, it feels like they did something wrong. So that may not be for all of you. They want to come forward and tell you that they realize there was some injustice. But I feel like with this outcome that you have a tough decision to make about whether you want to stay in it, let them back, whatever it may be. I don't feel a ton of brand new energy right now. That doesn't mean that you haven't met somebody new or that you won't be in the month of June. It just feels like there's some other things that, at least for the collective that watches me, that you need to finish healing in June before moving forward into all the aces that you got, which is beautiful new energy. Well, when's that going to happen on your timeline, right? All right, so I'm going to get one of the Lover's Oracle cards for you. This one seems to be calling, so that's the card. And it says, only time will tell. That couldn't have been a more perfect last words for what's going to happen in this situation. Okay. Now I'm going to get the Oracle, Wisdom of the Oracle cards to close out the reading for you. This is for Aries. This is for Aries. So we have co-create, mending, building blocks, observer, and then soulmates. Okay, so I got goosebumps. This could be your soulmate. So whoever this energy is, if you really do want to work on this and you feel like they're a soulmate, and you think that you can come out the other side of this transformation with them, that's incredible energy. Co-create. So maybe this is an opportunity for you in a new position or something at work that after getting past the tough times, now you can create that as well in a relationship. It's all about balance. 40 reduces to 4. And then mending. Again, this is telling you if you want to mend this situation, that's going to be up to you. You're going to have those discussions, those tough talks. And then building blocks. To me, this is all about brand new. It's starting from ground zero, and that's where you are. You're going through this journey, and then you're going to start building things, right? And it takes time, especially with Saturn energy. We've got to build things one brick at a time. It's not going to come snap your fingers overnight. So just be prepared for the journey. Tens are all about finishing out those old cycles and moving into the new ones. And then the observer. This is taking that step back. 49 reduces to a 13, which is also reduced to a 4 again. So a lot of 4s, a lot of energy about balancing yourself out. Sit back and take a look at your life from an observer's perspective. That also helps a lot in your spiritual journey. So if you can take a few days, whatever it takes for you as you're going through this, and try to separate yourself from your body for a second. That sounds weird, but it's easier when you can take that step back and look at it from a different perspective. Like, who am I? What do I want? How have things gone? That's that reflection through this Mercury retrograde that we were talking about that needs to be done. Okay, Aries, that was your reading. I hope this helped. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here and sticking with me till the end. As I said, if you'd like a personal reading, that information is in the description box. Please do like, share, subscribe, and always please comment. I read them all, and I really appreciate your input. I hope you guys have a beautiful month, and I'll see you in next week's readings. Take care.